So the lineups for the Friday semi-final of the Super Rugby Pacific competition have now been announced. The Crusaders taking on the Blues will be taking place at ORANGETHEORY Stadium at 7:05 PM New Zealand time. It's going to be a great game. Anytime these two sides play off, there's always a finals feel to it. And the victor of this match, they will be moving through to the final to take on the winner of the Chiefs versus the Brumbies. But we will start with this Crusaders side. Now, I have to say, not too many changes from what they did have in their quarterfinal fixture up against the Fijian Drua. They did get themselves the comfortable win in that game. They'll be hoping to do the same up against this Blues side. But the front row, it will be number 1, Tamaiti Williams, number 2, Cody Taylor, and number 3, Ollie Jaeger. Now, there was a great start to the match for the Crusaders in that game up against the Drua. Cody Taylor getting himself over the try line a couple times. But also Ollie Jaeger, actually the first try scorer in that Fijian Drua quarter-final. The locks will be Scott Barrett at number 4, who is going to be captain for this fixture. And then number 5, they are once again gone with Quinton Strange, so still no Sam Whitelock. In the Crusaders side, the loose boy trio, number 6, Sione Havili Talatui, number 7, the tackler machine, Tom Christie, and then number 8, it will be Christian Leo Willie, who has really found some nice form heading into the back end of the competition. He's very physical out there on the park, and I feel like that matchup of him versus Hoskins Satutu will be an interesting one throughout this matchup. Looking at the backline, number 9, Mitch Drummond, number 10, they have stuck with Richie Mo'unga. Now, he did end up with a slight injury near the end of that last matchup up against the Fijian Drua. They did actually decide to take him off the field even when they had no subs left, which did mean Crusaders closed out that game, first of all with 14 men, then they actually dropped to 13 due to an injury in the locking department. Now, he didn't get himself a try last week, Richie Mo'unga, but he did help set up quite a few of them. In this game, of course, you're going to get to see that battle of Mo'unga versus Barrett. The age-old question for the ABs, who's going to be that starting fly half? Out on the left wing is the informed Leicester Whainā Nuku. Now, he has been phenomenal, always getting to that breakdown nice and early. Does often take on the pick and go, making those few extra post-contact meters for the Crusaders, which then gets them on the front foot. Also, anytime he has space out on that left wing, does make the most of it and often does score tries. In the midfield, it will be Jack Goodhue at number 12 and number 13 being Braden Enoy. Out on the right wing, they have stuck with Dallas McLeod as that number 14 starter, and then at number 15, close out the side, it is going to be Will Jordan. Looking through at the reserves, number 16, they've gone with Brodie McAllister. Again, he had a decent impact coming off the bench after they did take off Cody Taylor in that quarter-final. Number 17, Kershaw Sykes Martin. And then number 18, they have once again gone with Ruben O'Neill. Number 19, Dom Gardner. Number 20, Corey Callow. Now, we did see quite a few injuries in those lock-in positions last week. Luckily, the Crusaders, though, they've got some good depth when it comes to those forwards. So they are able to switch one out for the other, which is what they've done here with Dom Gardner coming in for the injured Zach Gallagher. Then in the back replacements, number 21, Willie Hines, the veteran. Number 22, Fergus Burke, and then number 23 to close out this Crusaders side, it is going to be Che Fiaki. He did come off the bench in the last game up against the Drua, and we'll be looking forward to a few minutes near the end of this game, or maybe a few extra, depending on how the scoreline's going. Of course, both of these sides will want to make sure they have their key players for the final. So if they've got enough of a lead, either the Blues or the Crusaders, they might take off a couple of those keys as we get closer to the end of the fixture. Now looking through at this Blues starting lineup, once again quite similar to what they had last week, although a little bit of a change in that Blues backline. Looking at the 4-pack first though, number 1, it is Ofa Tuangafasi. Number 2, Ricky Riccatelli. Number 3, Nepolo Lala. Now last week the Blues in their quarterfinal fixture, they were playing up against the Waratahs, and they didn't start that match as well as they would have liked. It seemed like they were a little bit slow getting going after that first 15 minutes or so though, was when they really upped that intensity. And then once they found that second gear, the Blues slowly throughout the game became that more and more dominant. So I think they are going to need a big start from these 8 men in the 4-pack to then find themselves momentum just that little bit earlier to have that really good early head-to-head contest. Number 4, they've gone with Big Red Tom Robinson. And then number 5, it is still James Tucker in the loose boy trio. Number 6, Akira Ioane. Number 7, Dalton Papali'i. And then number 8, Hoskins Satutu, who will be playing in his 50th match for the Blues. So big congratulations to that man. And that is the same loose boy trio the Blues had last week for their game up against the Waratahs. Looking through at the back line, number 9, Finley Christie. Number 10 being Bowden Barrett. So like I mentioned, that head-to-head between Mo'unga and Barrett, always an intriguing one, always exciting. I look forward to seeing who gets the better of it. Number 11, they have made the change. Last week it was AJ Lamb. This week the Blues going back to Caleb Clark, who I do hope is 100% after the injury that he did have last week. Got power out on that wing. We didn't see a huge amount of AJ Lamb for the Blues last week up against the Tars, so maybe going back to Clark could add a little bit of something extra out on that left wing side for the Blues. Now looking at the centres, it will be Bryce Heem at number 12, and then number 13, it is Rieko Ioane, who is actually bringing up his 100th game, so a big congratulations to Rieko as well. He's going to be an important factor in that back line. If he can get that space to use his pace early, and then that offload on the outside to this man at number 14, Mark Talia, could mean it is extremely dangerous for the Blues on attack. But Mark Talia, he has been lighting this competition up. At the moment, he has now equaled the amount of tries that Doug Howlett was able to get in an individual season for the Blues. That record stood for about 20 years, and Talia's now got a chance to break it if he scores a try in this semi-final. And then the last man in the starting lineup, it will be Zahn Sullivan at number 15. But now looking through at the reserves, number 16, Kurt Eklund, number 17, Jordan Lay, and number 18, Marcel Renata. So no changes there for the Blues compared to what they did have for last week. Number 19, Cameron Suafua. Number 20, they have gone Adrian Choate. 21, Sam Knock. 22, it is Harry Plummer. And then at number 23, to close out their side, once again, they have gone with Stephen Petafeta. So I believe between the two sides, only about 4 changes maximum, I believe, have been made for the semi-final fixture, which just pretty much means both sides feel that they are getting the selections correct. They also feel that they've got the side that could win them this game and get them that spot in the Super Rugby Pacific 2023 final. But like I mentioned, this game, it is going to be kicking off at 7:05 p.m. on the Friday night here in New Zealand. It's a home game for the Crusaders, and in playoff rugby, they have the best record around out of the New Zealand sides. It's going to be a tough game for the Blues, but if they do manage to pull it off, could mean that the game will either be played at FMG Stadium if the Chiefs beat the Brumbies, or it could be a home game for the Blues if the Brumbies do beat the Chiefs. But thank you all very much for tuning in. We will be doing the live commentary on the channel, so be sure to check that out as well. But if you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I will see you all for the next one.